Morning, folks. This morning's soap is brought to us from Jeeves at Hudson Street. Name of this one here is Velvet Jacket. It's got like a sweet tobacco smell to it, and there's bay leaf in it. I've had this one here for a moment. If I remember right, this one here came with about 7 ounces of soap, and it's fairly firm in the container there, but it comes right on out of there with a spoon. Pressed it down in a bowl. Got it whipped up here in a shaving bowl here. That's what it looks like there. And whipped it up with, there we go. See if you can see that. That's the Shaven Sailor. This is a 3D printed brush. And it's got a cashmere knot in it, in the brush, but it whipped up pretty nice. It's a little on the wet side. Already used a hot towel to the face this morning, as well as coconut oil. My pre-shave routine. Got the alum block this morning. No rubber band. That block's too small for a rubber band nowadays. I got the Humphrey's witch hazel that's got menthol and peppermint in it now, and going to be following up the shave this morning, figuring this would be a good match. At least, you know, it doesn't match in scent, but as it goes for like a good cigar and a good cup of coffee. This is from Wet the Face aftershave. And the shaver of the day, I think I've got the edge okay on this. I'm going to find out. If I don't have the edge right where it needs to be, I'm going to be using the single edge star shaver to finish up the shave, just in case I still don't get the edge where it needs to be. This is a Red Imp. I have mentioned it in one of my other videos. This one here is one that was had an end of, you know, the shaver was damaged, and so it shortened up so that the straight razor could be saved. This is but this is Red Imp 133. I don't know if you can see that on the there, and it's made by Case here in the States. These are also a different set of scales, because this blade used to be longer, so the original scales was somewhat longer. To make this somewhat more presentable, the scales were swapped out. I'm going to give it a try, see how it works for me this morning. Being, guess you might say, been working with it, trying to get the edge where it needs to be so I can shave with it. When I first started with it, the edge was not quite there for me. It might be for some folks, but my beard's a little, I guess you might say, on the tough side. Whiskers are kind of thick in diameter, and it wasn't exactly, it was I guess you might say, plucky. It was shaving. It was doing that. There was whiskers that was being removed, but it wasn't it wasn't too comfortable. And that was just up here on my cheeks. So I knew that if I went ahead and tried to do a shave, especially against the grain, that the shave never would make it. It'd just be way too uncomfortable with an against the grain pass. So I've been working with it. Put some paste on a linen strop, and so we're going to see if I finally got it worked out or not. I'm not exactly real experienced with this sort of thing, using a paste, trying to bring the edge back. And let's see if I did a decent job or not, or maybe it's just too far gone and just needs to be rehoned. But I had my eye on this on eBay for a while. Originally it was around $30, and I had been excuse me, guess I'm scratching my throat there. Excuse me. I had my eye on it for a while. Price dropped down to $20. Decided that was a good buy. Picked this thing up for $20. I think it looks in pretty good shape. As you can tell, it's not a 5/8. It might be a 4/8 at best. Not real sure how wide that is, but if you look at the grind on it, I think it's at least 3/4 hollow. It might be full hollow. Not real sure. Like I say, I'm not real knowledgeable about that sort of thing. Still learning about all that. We'll go ahead and give this a try and see how it works out. I don't know. It still doesn't feel too terribly smooth. We'll see how far I get with it. Like I said, this is my first attempt to bring an edge back using paste and a London strop. Should mention it's been a few days since I had shaved. I think this would be, I think it was 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. Last day would have been Friday then. Yeah, I'm not too sure if this is going to make it or not. Kind of tell right there. Matter of fact, since I see that already, I think I will. I think I will go ahead and swap this out. Use my single edge shaver here. It hasn't failed me yet, this shaver. It's got a fresh blade in it. Look at that. Sharp enough to make me bleed, huh? It's got a fresh Gem blade in it. PTF coated, in other words, it's Teflon coated. It's a fairly smooth shaver with this blade. With the single edge blade in it, it has a different shave feel in it. Have to say it's a lot smoother than what the straight razor was. I thought, like, you could, when I had the paste on the linen, you can, in other words, the linen was changing colors. You see that it was removing metal, it was turning gray. So in other words, I knew I had stropped it about 30 times, I think, right before I started shaving with it. So I would have thought it would have had 20 times before that. So in other words, a total of 50. You would have thought that would have been enough. I can't remember last time I had weepers way over here where my sideburns are at. I shaved with this throughout the week. It's a good shaver. It really is. Like I say, it's a star shaver. A lot like a Gem or an Ever Ready. You see all that there. It works well for me. I know for some folks, no matter what the blade is that you put in there, it doesn't work well for them. Probably has a lot to do with the blade thickness as opposed to the shaver itself. The other blade type that works well for me in this shaver is the Treat Supers, and that was one of the first blades I found that really seemed to work well for me. Usually when you find those Treat Supers, they're in a cardboard box. So not a plastic dispenser or anything like that. It's still just a little bit wet there. Over the holidays, things went pretty good. We did get just a bit of rain. It's kind of interesting, you know, for the month of November going into December, have a thunderstorm come through. Nothing major or anything like that, just, you know, just a small one. But we did get quite a bit of rain. I like this knot that's in this brush. It is soft, but yet it still has enough backbone to it. Just a little bit of feedback here. Like I say, it's got a few days growth that we're taking down this morning. Yeah, it's too bad I didn't get the edge up. I think I'm just going to have to send it off and have somebody that knows what they're doing put the edge back on it. At least it looks like I'm not bleeding quite as much as I was. Not like starting your Monday off with weepers. Yeah, it was pretty tough. Not real sure with maybe there's different kinds of paste and maybe I just didn't approach it in the right direction, trying to bring the edge back. I know when I first just did a little test, I was going to test it out on my sheet. It was plucky. It was not going to work well. Just, you can kind of tell when the blade's not going to work out for you that day. And that one there was not working. It's all a work in progress. Now, like I say, I'm not real knowledgeable about straight razors or honing or anything like that, so it's going to be trial and error. I'm going to have those kind of days till I wrap my arms around how to get it done. But it was kind of nice, over the holiday being off a few days to be able to spend a little bit of time trying to bring the edge back. Practice, in other words. And I guess probably the most excitement over the holidays, besides what I was working with here on the straight razor, we spent a couple of days, not the entire days, but long enough, looking for Mom a new recliner, and finally found one. And probably the funniest part about it is our German Shepherd Tony really likes Mom's recliner. I probably should say when I mentioned Mom, I would call my wife Mom, since she is the mother of my children, so I do call her Mom. But my wife, we got her found her a new recliner. First place we went to get a recliner, she found one. Somehow or another there was a mix-up. That recliner was already sold after we got ready to check out. That's how we found out it was already sold. Needless to say, that upset her just a little bit, so we didn't look anymore that day. She was pretty upset. Which I understand, it was kind of a bad situation to look as long as we did for a recliner. And the one that we found they had already sold. They didn't have it marked as sold. Fill out all the necessary paperwork to make them happy so we can go up and throw our money down and leave it with the recliner, and come to find out it's already been sold. Soap smells really nice. This sweet tobacco, bay leaf, nice blend. Very smooth shave this morning. I mean, my face is pretty smooth. Without even having to work very hard this morning. Having a pretty smooth face. Nice post-shave feel. I think the alum block might help out a little bit right there. Dry my hands off and give it a try. Next few days are son's going to be staying after school practicing with the band for the Christmas parade that's coming up this Saturday. Kind of a big thing for the, I guess you might say, the community. It gives the folks that maybe don't, make it to all the events that the high school puts on for the for most folks that can make it to the stadium to watch them or anything like that, to get out and not only see them but hear them play. They did really have a good year this year. Football team didn't quite make it to the championship game, but they did make it to the finals. Won their first game, I think, in the finals. First game in the playoffs, second game they lost, but they did well. Still a little tender right there. It's going to be interesting this week how that plays out. This is really a nice scent. It's been that kind of week this week with the holidays and whatnot. I guess you might say my desire to have coffee scented. Yeah, this is really nice. Coffee scented aftershave. Well, I think that wraps it up, and yeah, it did stop bleeding. Probably gonna be tender there tomorrow. I don't know, I'll keep on. I've got some Nivea aftershave balm. I think I'll put some right there to help it heal up. That really does work well for me, as well as if you use the Nivea cream, that does well too. It's guess you might say it's does have that scent to it, but it's not an off-putting scent or anything like that. It just smells like a cream, and it does really well healing up spots like that, because that was pretty rough right through there. Yep, not quite sharp enough yet. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.